Hi everyone, this is Eugene O'Loughlin lecturing computing at the National College of Ireland, and welcome to our first ever online open evening, and this is for the higher diploma in data analytics programme, and this replaces our normal open evenings which takes place in the college. So I'm guessing the answer to this question is yes from you all. Are you interested in data? Data, and big data in particular, has become really important discipline over the last few years, and we in the college are experiencing a huge amount of interest in students coming to study with us and learn about data analytics to improve your skills, to change careers, to move into the IT and especially into the data analytics area. So let's take a look at what data is all about. Currently, we're all focused on things like the COVID-19 outbreak, and many of us are looking at dashboards like this one. This is the famous, at this stage, Johns Hopkins University dashboard that is being used by newspapers and media all over the world to get data about the COVID-19 outbreak. I'd never have thought I would see the day when a histogram would be front page news on the Irish Times or any newspaper for that matter. I also never thought I'd see the day when somebody using data mining tools would mine a load of obituary sites in the United States, extract all the names and details of people who died from COVID-19, and then made a uniquely iconic, at this stage, front page for the New York Times. And then there's geeks like myself who are looking for data, and we're going online and downloading data sets wherever we can get them to do our own analysis and to plot charts, come up with some ideas, write articles. This particular one here is the European Centre for Disease Control, and every day they upload data with statistics on COVID-19 for us data analysts to analyse and of course to enjoy. And then who would have thought that we would be using expressions like flattening the curve in our everyday conversation? The curve that you see here, it actually has a name. That name is kurtosis, and we'll be learning about kurtosis in one of our data analytics modules. So all of this has become really important for everybody to understand what data is all about, and your interest in data has brought you here, and we want to learn a little bit more. So this is a data analytics program, so let me throw some data at you. First off, you are joining an increasing number of students who have come to the National College of Ireland to study data analytics. It's been growing steadily since we first introduced the program in 2013, and we have at this stage now over 1,200 students who have enrolled in the higher diploma in data analytics. You can see the gender breakdown is a little bit different than other IT courses. It's approximately 60% male, 40% female, and that's much higher than we normally expect to find in IT type courses. So data analytics is appealing more and more to women, and we are delighted with that. We'd love to see this balanced even more, but it is improving as the years go on. In contrast, the average age by gender is almost identical between males and females. Slightly older males, that's probably due to a small cohort of older guys who joined the course a couple of years ago. Something we're very proud of is the employment rates for our graduates. Now, many students who come to us are already employed and they stay employed, but for those who come to the college who are job seekers, who are looking for a change in career, who are looking to upscale and transfer to something else, we have an excellent record in getting positions and also for further education for students in this area. So we're very proud of that, and I wanted to share that with you. What about the qualification of people coming on the program? Now, many of you listening to this will have an honours degree because that's the main entry requirement for admission onto this program. So an honours degree in any discipline, and that's at level 8, will get you a ticket onto this program. You can see we also attract people with level 9. Now, many of those are postgraduate diplomas, but also many are with masters. On the bottom left-hand chart, you can also see that we do admit students who do not meet the entry criteria. Now, most of the level 7 ones, the 141 you see there, would be in a cognate area. So that might be an ordinary pass level degree at level 7 in, say, IT or in engineering or some in a cognate area like that. But we do have a pathway for those of you who do not have an honours degree to come to the college. And you can see over the years we have been admitting a few people on each program who do not meet the entry requirements requirements. And how they come in, the pathway is through RPEL. That's Recognition of Prior Experiential Learning, RPEL. And you can see that the vast majority of our applicants are normal applicants with the degrees that meet the qualifications, but up to is just under 17% of our applicants do not meet the entry requirements and are admitted through the RPEL process. Many of them have level 6 and level 5 qualifications and some experience in this area or some background in IT or in scientific backgrounds. And there is an application process that you would need to go through there, and we review each application individually, and many of our RPEL applicants end up with extremely good results and doing very, very well on the program. With that in mind, last bit of data for you here. Loads and loads of our students come out with first class honours and two upper 2-1s, and that's an excellent set of results. We're really, really proud of those figures. It tells us that our students are working really, really hard and enjoying the program. So let's take a look at the structure of the program, what you can expect over the next year or so. We have 2 versions of the program, and this, what you see here in front of you, is our 1-year version, and we'll come to the 2-year version now in a moment. Our 1-year program is structured over 3 semesters. So starting this September 2020 and ending in December 2020 is our semester 1, and you will cover the business data analysis, programming for big data, introduction to data analytics, and business analysis and communications module. So that's at 30 credits, out of our total of 60 credits in the semester 1. So that's the tough semester right at the beginning. Our business data analysis module, 5 credits, that's statistics. So in there you're going to learn about descriptive statistics, probability, hypothesis testing, comparing samples, sampling, also about correlation and regression as well. In programming for big data, this can be the scary one for people who have not done programming before, but this module takes you right from the beginning. No prior knowledge of programming is required for this program. The current language that we're currently using is R. We do from time to time switch that over to Python, but this coming semester the language will be R. In Introduction to Data Analytics, this is our database module. So many of you will have heard about databases, but may not know how they're structured, how they're created, how they are queried. And we'll be using a language called SQL, Structured Query Language, to query the database. And we learn how to build data warehouses in this module. And the business analysis module, that's all about requirements. So all projects, data analysis or otherwise, will require somebody, and that's usually a business analyst, to come up with the requirements for the project. So we gather all the requirements and learn about all the techniques such as prototyping and workshops and focus groups and interviewing to elicit and gather requirements for the project, and then we make sense of those in requirements analysis with the ultimate aim of producing a requirement specification that the developers can then take and develop the program or analyze the data that is required. In semester 2, which is going to start in next January and will end at the end of April in 2021, we have 3 modules. Advanced Business Data Analysis is a continuation of the Business Data Analysis module in semester 1. And in this you learn more statistical techniques, comparing samples, doing statistical techniques for non-normal data. You will be looking at more time series analysis, and also ending up in that module, you'll be looking at a cluster analysis, so looking for clusters in data, which is an exciting as well as a very interesting and informative discipline. In data visualization, well, that's exactly what you'll be doing. You'll be looking at ways to visualize data, and in particular visualize very large data sets. So if you think of a data set that's, say, 1 million rows, 1 million lines, that's very difficult to visualize that in a simple plot. So you're going to need things like dashboards so that we can filter data, and we're going to learn how to do that in the data visualization module. In the data and web mining module, a lot of this is about machine learning. So we'll be learning about classifying data, making predictions with machine learning. And in this, you'll be looking at machine learning techniques such as naive Bayes, support vector machine, random forest. And these are the very algorithms that the likes of Netflix and Google and Amazon use to make recommendations to you. So for example, you like this movie, you watch this movie, you might like another movie, and so on. And then your last semester here at the project were 10 credits in total. This is a module, it's on its own, and it will run through the summer next year between May and August, at actually the end of July. And this is where you will take a large data set or sets and analyze it. You're going to look for links, trends, patterns, relationships in the data, and also of course use machine learning to make predictions and forecasts and classify the data. So, and hopefully then in the project, you're going to use many of the techniques that you will have learned and the skills that you will have picked up in the previous modules. In our 2-year version of the program, same modules, just in a slightly different sequence. This is spread out over 4 semesters and 2 academic years. So in semester 1, and starting this coming September, our business data analysis, program for big data and introduction to data analytics take place. And they're exactly the same modules, same content, same learning outcomes as on the 1-year program. Semester 2 from January to April next year, just 2 modules there. You will do the advanced business data analysis and the business analysis module. No classes during the summer for this group here, so your 3rd semester will begin in September 2021, and that will cover our data visualization and our data and web mining module. And then finally you finish up in the project module in semester 4. Seems like a long way away, but that time will pass very quickly. So starting in January 2022 and ending in April 2022, we'll be doing a project in the same way as outlined previously for the 1-year version. So an indicative schedule. At this stage of creating the video, I'm not sure of how many instances of this program will be starting in September, but our target will be to have 2 to 3 groups starting in the classroom, and 2 groups, one a 1-year program and one a 2-year program, starting online. So the 2-year program is only available online. And typically what this will be, in the 1-year programs, we'll bring you in for 3 evenings a week. That's either in the classroom or online. Usually between 6 and 10 in the evening, and that could be, say, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. And we also, in those programs, bring you in some Saturdays. That's usually 3 Saturdays, but this does vary, and so keep an eye on the college's website and on the Springboard website as well for details on these, and if there's an option for you to choose one schedule versus another. In our 2-year programs, a little bit less intensive. We bring you in just 2 evenings a week. Again, that could be Tuesday and Thursday or Monday and Wednesday, 6 to 10 again, and also bring you in on some Saturdays. And note in both cases, the Saturdays are full days, starting at 9 and finishing at 5 with a lunch break in the middle. Now for the classroom-based projects, at this stage, obviously, we're not really sure about the requirements for social distancing, but I do think we can expect at least some kind of social distancing in the classroom this coming September. Our semester is scheduled to start on Monday, the 28th of September. So what technologies will you use? This may answer a lot of questions that people ask in the open evenings. Our main technologies will be R. The R programming language, which you will learn in the 1st semester, is used throughout the 2nd and 3rd, and in the case of the 2-year program, the 4th semester for the project. So most students use R for their project. Many can use, if you have a programming in another background in another programming language, you of course can use that. Many students will use Python, but in the main, R is the language that's going to be used for projects. We do use Excel, so you'll be learning how to use Excel for things like cleansing data, and also for dealing with missing values and for doing some statistical analysis. The blue icon in the center represents IBM's SPSS, Statistical Packages for Social Sciences. This is a statistics package, but also allows you to do charting, and also allows you to do some of the more complicated statistical techniques, such as time series analysis, cluster analysis, and survival analysis. For visualizations, we mainly use Tableau, and also in the data and web mining module, we use tools like RapidMiner. For our databases, we use SQL and NoSQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, which is the language we're going to use to query the database, to find out information from the databases. And we also, very popular in projects, free tools like Canva and Pictochart will be used for creating things such as infographics. Most of these are open source. Excel, of course, isn't, and IBM's SPSS isn't, but we will provide students with those softwares for the duration of your time registered with the college. This is a bring your own device BYOD program, and so we don't mind if you have a Windows machine or a Mac machine. Almost any laptop bought in the last couple of years will probably be sufficient. We make recommendations of a minimum of 8 gigabytes of RAM, but a 16 is preferred. And you can see that we're looking at reasonably powerful computers here. For much of the course, an older laptop might be suitable, but when you get to analyzing very large data sets, the older computers do tend to be slowed down. And so, for example, in the programming language, or if you're trying to read in a large file, this can be very, very slow in a computer that does not meet these minimum requirements. And as I say, we don't mind whether you're a Mac user or a Windows person. We're very proud as well, as I mentioned earlier on, of the success of our graduates in gaining jobs. And it's been a very, very fruitful period over the last while. And these are just some of the careers, the companies and the job titles that our students from the 2018-2019 classes, the last one I have information for, ended up doing. And if you look at the employer names, you'll see many very, very well-known names there, like Facebook and Bank of Ireland, Twitter and Pinterest and so on. These companies are hiring our graduates, and in many cases several graduates ending up in these companies. So we're really, really, really proud of this, and we get great feedback from the companies and from the students that the course is a wonderful preparation for a career as a data analyst. Much of this is due to our award-winning, let me say, careers team, and it's their job. If you're a job seeker or you're looking to change jobs, it's their role to find you a position. Now, this might be an internship, it might be a short-term contract, or indeed it could be a full-time position. But they will be running a Career Bridge module throughout the program to help you get back on the job ladder, to help you with interview skills, to help you with networking, to help you with your CV, and so on. So it's a great team of people, and people who engage with them find them really, really useful and really helpful in getting you that job. So thank you for your attention throughout this presentation here. If you'd like to ask questions, we will be following on with a Q&A at the open evening. In general, if you have any questions about the program, you can email admissions@ncirl.ie and they will respond or direct your question to the appropriate person. So thank you again for all your attention, and happy data analyzing.